So, last session, you all were making your way away from Amphail and northward towards the small outpost, the small frontier town of Red Larch. While en route between Amphail and Red Larch, you all came across a rampaging stone golem on the road. It seemed to be mindlessly crushing a cart into the dirt. Um, you discovered a pair of travelers nearby. It turned out it was their cart, and they said that this creature had just barreled in out of the countryside, tipped over their wagon, and just began to monotonously pound it into the mud. You all decided to approach this creature and try and see what its intentions were. But its intentions became pretty clear pretty quickly, as it intended to begin smashing you all into the ground. Specifically, the first person that it saw after its focus was taken away from the cart. So, after some interesting strategic moves by you guys, you managed to destroy this stone golem. And by tracking its path back, came across an excavation site, an abandoned excavation site. Your investigations and your searchings revealed that this was a excavation performed by a group of fire giants, although their intention was unknown at first. You all began to look around the site, hearing some strange sounds coming from the center of the dig, from a shaft that seemed to lead down and down into darkness. You all decided that if any answers were to be had, they would be had in that pit, so you all began your descent. When you arrived down there, you discovered very quickly the corpse of a fire giant, and then not too long after, the cause of that giant's corpsification. So, the place's defenders had not found the fire giants worthy of their time or their mercy, but after some conversation, you all were able to convince these spectral guardians that your intentions were pure, and that the time had come for them to relinquish control of the artifact that guarded. And through that, you all discovered this item to be a piece of something called the Vonindod, a ancient and extraordinarily powerful device wielded by the giants in their war against the dragons those many thousands of years ago. You recovered this item, were able to get it topside, and that is where we will pick up today. So, if you guys want to still be in the temple itself, I am totally fine with that. I have put the map away, but we can still say that you guys are inside of there if you'd like.
Yes, I believe Horace wanted that.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So, deep underground in that temple, what would you like to do?
Do these spirits speak common? Or do we have to translate through elf?
They do speak Elvish. If you did attempt to speak to them in common, I believe that the woman would likely speak back to you.
So I'm assuming that your purpose in being here forever is to guard the Vonindard. Now that it's gone, what now?
She shakes her head and says, not just the Vonindod. This place holds many relics of our people.
And what is your name?
I think she might have given you the name last time. Nope. So we will call her Solara.
Okay, I guess that is good. And I am Horace. Very well. I was just concerned that now that the Vonindard was gone, that you would just be here forever without a purpose.
She says that no, her purpose
and
would be here.
And if that were the case, then we could lay you to rest in some sort of ceremony?
She would smile and say that she appreciates your concern, but her work here will remain as long as the stones remain. As long as there is a temple standing, she will have purpose.
Well, if sometime in the next 400 years or so you have need of contact with the outside world, please find a way to contact me.
She nods appreciatively.
I will check in periodically.
So you guys would notice that as this conversation has proceeded, that her visage has stopped shifting into that undead, rotted form and has remained pretty constant in her elven features.
Pictured her sitting in this cave for all eternity going, okay, there was that thing we were protecting, but now it's gone. Anyone got a deck of cards?
And you guys have still, even in the chamber that you're in right now, there are still quite a great many artifacts and treasures here. She's still got quite a bit of defending to do.
They calls to me. They calls. My precious, I use them.
All right. And they did also provide a pair of +1 weapons to the party, correct?
Correct.
Yes, sir.
We just need to decide what weapons those are.
I think Hank and I are good.
So, Silverin wasn't
I
here
think
last
Maiden got
session. I think that as far as who has weapons that can bypass magical resistances, I think there's only a couple of you that do not have something yet.
Bless you.
Sorry.
So I'm thinking they should be something for Dandy and Silverin.
Oh my gosh. Silrin with the super strength gauntlet and a wop sword. Just.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought scimitars.
I think
I think he carries just about every one-handed sword.
So Silrin, what they're talking about right now is after this whole parlay with this undead elven woman and her minions, a fight was avoided, a potentially deadly fight was avoided, and they did allow you to take a 2 +1 weapons from this place, and they would give them to you freely. So you guys had the option to choose any +1 weapons, any 2 +1 weapons.
Oh, wow.
So I think the consensus is that if you would like one of them, then it is yours, and in which case we could make it a +1 scimitar if you'd like.
Can it be a +1 rapier?
Of course, absolutely.
Yeah.
Turtle.
And I figured Dandy would get the other one because if I remember right, isn't Horus able to make his Warhammer into a +1 as a Forge Cleric? If he felt like it?
I do my armor because I'm not about hitting things. I'm about standing in the way.
Let
And
Horus
if I need to, I can do a cantrip.
let Horus have a Warhammer and Dandy a battle axe. That's better. If I need to do magical damage, I have ways of doing it. That's why.
I have a level in fighter, so you can make a magical weapon anything you want, and you can hand it to me anytime you want.
love it.
Right? It's like, I don't, like, you take those magic items. No, you take it. No, you take it.
Yeah.
Well, Dandy's not going to fight. She wants one.
All right, so +1 battle axe for Dandy. That's for sure.
Give Dandy 2 +1 battle axes, one for each hand,
Mm-hmm.
and we're good.
Happy Dandy.
Horrifying. Like, you can imagine, like, Danny's swinging one from the close grip, one from the long grip, just like cutting everything in half with that thing.
I'm
Just
fond of
giggling the whole
shields.
time.
Yeah, I was gonna say horrifying.
Slash
die
slash.
You're gonna dye that hair red one way or another, I guess.
Thank you for my new people openers.
So like, if it's sharp enough, Tank, it's a people opener.
Okay, so Dandy, do you carry a shield at all, or is it just your battle axe?
I do carry a shield.
Okay, so all right, 1 second. I'll get you set up with your new weapon.
Thank you.
Is anyone else taking the second item, or is Dandy really taking 2+1 weapons here?
Give one to someone else. I'm not going to be a jerk.
Drake, do you have anything?
I don't work as well with +1 weapons as I would with specialty weapons.
Or if
So-
you don't,
So
want
so
it?
unless there's a staff of power there.
I think Horace
So
says that
it's
he's
hard-
content to let people hit him and not necessarily be the one doing the hitting.
like I'm gonna be doing the magic damage anyways, so like +1 weapon's not gonna do a whole lot for me. It doesn't increase my DCs.
I will totally take the +1 rapier though.
Go ahead and drag a +1 rapier on
Go
your
ahead.
shield.
I'm waiting for some of the other magic
Hooray.
items.
Finally, we're under agreement.
Okay, so you guys can. What would you guys like to do?
Climb out of that hole, please.
Indeed, you guys can use your rope and your climbing gear to get out of the passage without issue.
Brevin, hold my stuff and spider walk.
I can imagine this whole scenario with the ghost lady just watching us argue who gets what.
Right?
Hold on 1 second. River spilled something, I got it.
Oh, River James. Sorry, we have a spill, guys. Hold on 1 second.
Here. It's okay.
Oh, babies.
I'm telling you, River. It's okay. There's an accident.
So you guys, do you guys want to take a long rest outside of the cavern, or do you want to press on to Red Larch? I believe at your current pace, you're about a day out.
Doesn't need to swim in the
Well, we took a long rest before we went
Yeah.
in,
You did. That's
and
correct.
then we
You're right.
talked. And then we talked for half an hour.
Right, so you guys don't even need to
we're
take a rest.
fresh.
Yeah, you are.
We didn't do much.
We probably want to get away from here with this rod.
Yeah, who's the physically? I think actually now Soren is physically the strongest person here with the gauntlets.
Well, we have the cart.
All the cart.
And as far as getting the rod, out of there, I did collect a block and tackle before we left the last town.
You're going to go fishing?
No, it's a block and tackle like how you used to like lift an engine block out of a car.
Oh,
gotcha,
Right, it's like a rope and pulley system.
What's a
Right.
car?
Yeah.
Sorry.
What's a
I had
What's a
car?
car?
I know what a block and tackle is.
The horseless carriage, my friend.
Sounds sus.
One of those new gnomish cabins.
Yes. They have wheels and they move by themselves. The horses are inside the vehicle.
Gnomes
Wheels
basically
always
have
move by themselves.
tanks and stuff. It's pretty cool. Like they have the barrel walkers that are basically like 8-legged contraptions. It's just like a gnome in a barrel with a whole bunch of like spider legs walking it around. Pretty awesome.
Sexy.
What the hell? Sounds horrifying, but I'm interested at the same time.
Yeah, gnomes are a trip in 5e. Like those little guys get into some crazy shit. Okay. So, on your way to Red Larch, everybody, could somebody please roll me a d20?
Hold on. There
You got
were
it.
giant excavation weapons around.
Indeed, several tools and such things. 3? Okay. Several tools and
they-
such things giant-sized have been left behind, mostly pickaxes, hammers, shovels, things like that.
Are they valuable?
Well, aside from their just standard monetary value, probably about twice as much as the standard item would cost. The problem would, of course, be transporting them, even with your cart. Transporting a giant, a shovel fit for a giant. Maybe you can get one or two of them.
Okay, what if we piled them all into a big pile and I spent an hour and turned them into a bar of gold for whatever they're all worth together?
Okay.
That? Yeah, do it.
So,
I'm down.
I'll say that there
Seems
is about, we'll say a whole dozen assorted items. Between shovels, pickaxes, things like that.
I think Dandy did pick up a pickaxe before she went down. She's gonna hide that from Horace because that's hers.
Oh, do they make good weapons? They're too heavy to lift.
Okay, so
maybe
we'll
for
say that
some people.
each one of these things is worth 4 gold. We said there was a full dozen of them. So 48 gold worth of mining equipment here for us.
Is it worth spending an hour for 48 gold, people?
Yeah.
Money. Yes. We're broke.
That is
Are
the
we?
best use of an hour I've ever seen. Who gets paid for
Yeah.
48 gold an hour?
Right?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That sounds amazing.
Consider.
Okay.
Do your thing, Horace.
I somehow I could melt it down into no, that's too expensive. Into one bullet, one sling stone of mithril.
Hey.
Let's just go for 48, a bar worth 48 gold.
Got it. So
Yeah.
you
Thinking-
basically got like
thinking-
a
thinking.
mound of gold, like a small like rock.
Yeah, I can't find my character. I'm clicking on it. It must be hiding somewhere. Oh,
This map is
I
huge.
can't switch out of chat. Up there it goes. It was. How odd. Sorry.
No worries.
You're good.
Cool. That this? No.
Alright guys, so as you're hanging out here at the excavation site, a light rain begins to fall, and you guys can see that those storm clouds that were moving in have deepened and darkened. And anyone wants to make a survival check for me? Hey,
I have a
anyone-
good survival.
There you go, somebody proficient in survival or nature. Okay, Dandy, with a 10, you can tell that this storm is going to last a while.
Awesome. I'm gonna let everyone know.
It is a biggin.
I kind of figured Dandy probably really enjoys storms as a storm herald.
Nice. Yeah.
So she's very excitedly telling everyone, "Hey guys, it's gonna be raining for a long time." Yes.
With a giant smile.
Hey, can you stop making a mess, please? I'm watching you make a mess.
So the rain begins lightly, but Andy, you can tell that it is going to turn into a downpour at some point. And those of you that are from this area would know that these kind of storms aren't uncommon. The type of storms that roll through and just kind of wash the landscape clean over the course of a few days.
Mm-hmm. Hello.
So it'll take you guys the better part of your day to get to Red Larch from where you're at right now. Probably about 10 to 12 hours. Frederick with a 3, you guys can get there without incident.
Thank you. I would be like, okay, what are we throwing at? What are we going to get?
Okay, so as you guys approach Red Larch, it's a rather small town, rather nondescript. You can see a lot of the people have already made their way inside by the time you all get there. By the time you all get there, most of the people have already made their way inside to seek shelter from the coming storms. The feeling of a frontier town really comes through here. There's no pavings, there's no official roadways. It's kind of just spaces between the buildings. And not long after you guys arrive, you can see what gave Red Larch its name. There is a very distinctive stand of red larch trees just outside of town. You can see about half of them had been cut down, but the rest of them had been left up for whatever reason. The town, I should say, is situated on a fertile patch of land on the western outskirts of the Somber Hills. And two major paths intersect here. The Keldell and the Cairn Road meet the Long Road here, which is of course, the main road that you guys have found yourselves on. Despite the small size of this place, it offers quite a few amenities. There's the Allface Shrine, a shrine that has symbology of what looks to be dozens of different gods on the outside facades. This shrine obviously caters to multiple faiths. There's a small tavern that you can see a few townsfolk coming into and out of. It's called the Swinging Sword. It's a rather respectable looking place, 3-story inn with a pitched roof. And there's a tavern nearby that you guys can hear quite a bit of laughter coming from. There's a sign over the top of it that says, Helm at High Sun. What would you all like to do?
Probably get set up for some place to stay the night, and then we can adventure a little more or look around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Place to settle, a bit of information. I think we should do. So, I guess we're heading to the Swinging Sword.
Sounds like my kind of place.
The Swinging Sword is the inn. You guys head in. There's a good fire going in the fireplace. A elderly woman sitting behind the desk. She looks up. She nods and says, "Welcome, welcome. Come on in out of the cold and the rain. You all looking for rooms for the evening?"
Yes, we are.
As you can see, we don't have very many guests at the moment, so it'll only be a silver for each of you. Plenty of rooms upstairs you can share, or you can take your own rooms. I think there's about a dozen available up there at the moment.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Let me take off a silver for mine.
I look up to her like, you have change for a gold coin.
Nonsense, we certainly do cater to many adventurer in this establishment, so it's not an uncommon request. And you see her very slowly reach down off to the side. She comes back up with this little pouch. She takes the gold. And says, 1. Places a single silver down. 2. 3.
Danny's gonna give her a whole gold coin and just say, "I'd like some food, also, please." And you can keep the change because I don't have time for this.
we don't serve food here, lass. It's over at the helm while you're buying the food. So let me get you your change. Just a moment. 4.
I'm going to very dramatically slide to the floor.
She finishes counting out your change, Frederick. 9 silver.
Brevin is thinking this is why he keeps some silver, so he doesn't have to go through the change-making process.
This is why Brevin keeps silver.
No. No.
So she takes the gold piece, Danny, and she holds it up and says, for the rest of you then.
Yes, for everybody. We're covering everybody.
Very well, she counts. She says, 5 silver back then.
Oh, God.
1. That's a copper. Sorry. What?
This is how Danny develops an eye twitch.
So, after a long time, she does count out the rest of your change, and there is 5 silver pieces on the counter. You can
Thank you!
I don't know. If you're only going to live 100 years, how do you stand that?
Are you talking to her?
Just to everybody. Although, how long do Azamars live?
I think average. I don't think they're long-lived at all. They're just regular. And Dandy's protector, Asmar, so she's gonna die young, no doubt.
Brevin gives a little shrug because he really has no idea how long he's going to live.
Right?
Ever tell you guys about the Tabaxi rogue I had that came into a bit of a conflict with a ghost and got aged by 45 years?
Ooh.
Yep. He went from the rapscallion, young and full of himself rogue pirate to the wizened and grayed old cat man in the space of about 2 hours.
I got back.
Oh, dang.
Hello?
I'm
Okay.
the slowest counting out of change ever.
Yeah, you
Oh,
missed something great, dude. I definitely recommend checking out the last 2 minutes of what just happened on
Alright, good. Yeah, sorry, my food just came in, so I was like, I gotta run down, grab the food, come back in.
You're good.
So,
You're good. So, you guys have your room secured for the night. What do you guys want to do?
Well, it's like Flitch was like
I'm,
laid down next to the corner, and I think I'm gonna go ask the little lady if she heard any rumors recently about the area.
She says,
You're an elf. You can take it.
What?
just the big ones roaming about causing trouble.
Giants.
It's been a long time since they've been about.
Yes. So, do you know where these giants been around? Just in the general vicinity.
Only rumors.
All right. You think Red Larch doesn't really get that much problems here at all?
It's a small town. Quiet, out of the way.
Ask her, do you know any places good to get some food? And
It's
I'll
down
be
the
off.
hill at the helm at High Sun.
All right. I woke up to the who's here with me, or is no one?
I think everybody's still there.
Turn back, it's like I have no idea what to say next.
Thank you, ma'am.
There's no need to shout.
Sorry.
What?
I need to leave this building.
Only both.
Just drag Soren out. Out.
Helm is a fine god. I look forward to his followers and meeting them in the high sun.
I love you. You're great.
Right. So
Well,
the helm at High Sun.
That
I
was
am
one?
so excited. You should really meet these guys.
well, I suppose we'd see what Horace is excited about.
Yeah, feed Dandy before she gets hangry.
Should eat one of the
So,
horses.
the inn is rather lively. There is a good amount of people here. It seems like this is the most popular spot to ride out storms of this type. And yeah, there's people behind the piano. There's someone playing the piano over in one corner. There's a roaring fire. Drinks are going around all over the place. There's several barmaids around sending out drinks and food of various types. What'll it be?
Food.
Food. All we need is like dried meat and rations, so I'm like, let's get actual food.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we had a good meal.
All right, so as you guys approach, a barmaid in her like late mid-20s approaches you all and says, "Greetings, everyone. My name is Day. What can I do for you all?"
We need food, please, and thank you.
Says, of course, we have lots of different things to choose from. I would recommend the stew today. Fresh caught boars from the nearby woods.
Yes, dead animal of any kind, absolutely acceptable.
Absolutely. One dead animal soup coming up.
Make that
Anyone
too,
else?
please. And a small cup for my friend here. At point at Flitch.
She smiles at him.
Do you have a mutton leg?
Mutton leg, yes. Lots of sheep
Mutton leg?
around here.
Curry?
Curry. That
No.
is an interesting one. I don't think we have any curries, but I can head on back and talk to Miff, see if he can make anything.
Cayenne?
She kind of tilts her head. Says, I'll be back with the stew for all of you, and any ale?
Yes, please. Anybody else? My treat?
I mean, if you're paying, I'll take the finest ale in the house, please.
Preferably get the cheapest one for him in particular. The one that you haven't dusted off yet.
I'll take your finest ale either way, whether he's paying or not.
Boy has a taste.
An ale.
So she comes back with just a simple round of ale and flagons for everybody, and then as she kind of sits and brings it all over to you all, she says, "For the table," kind of does a little bit of math in her head, and says, "For the table, it'll be 1 gold, and that'll cover the meals and the drinks for the night. And
Like a coin.
if anyone suggests their finest," she says, "well, we do just happen to have something unique that was just brought up from someplace not many people come back from. You ever heard of that Duergar mash? Make it from the mushrooms down there."
Like a Drake Durgar Nash.
Sounds like an interesting drink. I'd love to have some, please.
Absolutely, they make it from the fire lichens down there. I've heard it's almost cinnamony. Never tried it myself. I'm not a hard liquor girl, but I'd be happy to bring you a bottle. It is 10 gold for the bottle, though.
I'll take it.
I almost spit up my drink.
All right. So Drake, she brings you a bottle. It is tall and thin. It stands about 2.5 feet tall, very thin and brightly dyed red. The glass is.
Is there any writing on it?
There's not. It is a. I wouldn't say simple. There is no decoration on the outside of the bottle, but the craftsmanship of it seems immaculate.
For 10 gold pieces, I expect a little bit immaculate.
So Drake, there is about 20 servings, and one serving being about like a 4-ounce pour.
All right, I'll pour myself just 1 drink for now and save the bottle for later.
It's a 2-foot long bottle.
It's a fine bottle. Don't
tall,
break it.
Slender bottle.
Looks fragile.
So, add this to my inventory. What's the name of the bottle gonna be
We call it
called?
fire lichen mash.
Fire, lichen, mash or nash?
Mash.
Mash.
Okay.
What you put at the bottom of a still. Mash.
Well, 19 on there to represent there's 19 servings left.
How's it going on? Like, so just like Kern's like eating up the soup. Oh, that I
So
paid
Drake,
for.
you pour yourself a standard 4-ounce pour.
Yep.
So as you drink it, you get lots of different spices, and you do get that it tastes almost like cinnamon, and then it immediately begins to burn, like burn, like ow, what the fuck, burn, and
Awesome.
yeah, and Drake, I do need you to make a Constitution saving throw for me.
Can I make this with advantage because Drake is a cultured man and likes his ale and is also you know, part fire dragon.
Cultured.
So
Cultured
Go ahead.
man, you mean alcoholic?
He likes his opium.
Yeah, you can make it at advantage. Go ahead.
Boy said cultured. He has a problem.
Okay. So Drake, after the brief couple seconds of intense pain, it does pass, and you find yourself handily inebriated off of just one drink, but no sick to your stomach. You are certainly still functioning, but handily drunk.
It's like drunk Drake is the fun Drake.
woo! That is some good stuff. Woo! Thank you, miss.
You can see like her and the bartender are watching you drink it, and they're giving like appreciative nods.
You can't light those candles across the room on fire without burning the place down.
Sure I could. Raises the hand and attempts to do it.
On second thought.
So
It's like, okay, it's like Drake, we said one candle, and you're like looking at like 4 of them.
So real
Not
quick,
that
Drake, mechanically, what that stuff is it is just an extraordinarily powerful fireball whiskey. Is essentially what it is. Like extraordinarily
Yeah,
powerful.
like 90%, you know?
Yeah. So every time you drink it, the DC, every drink that you have in the course of a night, the DC on avoiding negative side effects goes up for every drink that you have throughout the night.
Okay.
Okay, so since you are indeed a man of culture and have, I'm sure, heard of this wine before, why don't you go ahead and make a history check for me?
Sure.
Awesome.
Hell yeah.
So you know that there are 2 stages in this. There are basically 2 outcomes towards drinking the fire lickened mash. There is happily drunk and completely and totally blacked out and unable to function. So, you know, ride that line carefully.
I am happily drunk right now, so I
Okay.
think I'm very happy.
So we'll see what devious uses you can get up to a wine that essentially has a 50-50 chance of knocking the drinker out.
Could be fun. I can think of a few things we could do with this. Gonna be some drinking contests
Well,
in
I'm
the
sure it
future.
has a high flammability.
Alright, I'm good.
I'm sure it's sufficiently flammable for all sorts of nefarious purposes.
Use the black balls we have.
Oh my god.
It's like so. It's like a makeshift Molotov nuke.
Are you de-drunking Drake for us?
I certainly hope not.
I paid good money for this, damn it.
Heard the possibility of what we can
Oh
use
my
with
gosh. Horace is walking Narcan. Cool.
it. Oh, horse is still muted, bro.
Fighting undead, I thought that might have come in handy at some point.
Lesser Resto is an amazing spell to have. Handy a number of times. I'm about to run a Tomb of Annihilation game, and not one of the players has Lesser Resto, and I am very afraid for them.
Oh, no.
They're about to go into the dangerous and deadly jungles of Cholt, and they have no way of relieving themselves of poison or disease. It is a lesson they will learn very quickly.
Are they all paladins by any chance?
No, there is not a
Oh.
paladin among them.
Then they're
Nor
dead.
is there a cleric among them, now that you mention it.
Then they're dead.
Yes, give her one.
Imagine just like turning away for like back to my meal. I see Flinch just completely ate the whole soup.
Nice.
I'm going to want to. Maybe we'll wait.
Oh gosh.
So things are pretty relaxed here, guys. I mean, compared to the raucous party that was at Amphail and the metropolitan atmosphere of Waterdeep, this is a very chill place. So yeah, you guys can hang out here for as long as you want to, rest it up, and it is late in the evening at this point, considering how long of a journey it took to get here. So yeah, you guys can continue to do whatever you'd like to in Red Larch before moving on.
I'd like to move.
Oh my bad. You go.
Well, it's late at night. I don't think the shops would be open. I'd like to go to the All-Face Shrine.
Absolutely.
No, I'll have to go check out any shops nearby later on the day.
Okay, so that would be the next morning.
Dandy will go with Horace. Sorry, Horace.
No. Oh no, I am pleased for the company.
I'm a hole because last time I came from a shrine, we got jumped. So I'm just gonna stay here.
Ah, yes, but
Well, I'm gonna look at
we
the
got to
shrine
meet
too.
a
Just
sister that way.
I don't want to meet the other sister. My other sister.
Wait, what? Tell me of
Sister-in-law?
your sister, Usul.
I just like nod. I was like, big family.
We spend a
gonna
lot of
drag
time on the
Brennan along.
road.
Wait, what
Was that Andy?
Oh, Dandy's gonna drag Brevin, sorry, with her and Horace.
To the shrine.
okay.
Yes.
Is there any like would-be adventurers out in this tavern right now?
Make an investigation check. Make an investigation charisma check. Asking around. So what that means is that you just make a charisma check, and then if you're proficient in investigation, you can add your proficiency bonus to it.
Charisma. And what was the thing you said?
Do you have proficiency in investigation?
Let me check right now. I don't think I do. I have a +4.
+4 to investigation?
Yeah, so it'd be a 14.
Yeah, absolutely. So with a 14, there are no adventurers around. There's a few people that look like they've had some military experience, a couple guys that look like they might have been mercenaries at one point. Nothing too, nobody that jumps out as you as being too much. Now,
I guess I'll walk up to those guys and ask if there's any trouble or rumors of trouble with specifically with giants in the area.
they would say not around here, and that they've heard enough rumors to know that it's not rumor anymore, and to keep a weather eye open on the horizon. But no trouble at Red Larch.
Oh my god, this place is too peaceful.
Not every place has like all kinds of problems going on, guys. There's too many places. Imagine if there was something wrong at every single place on this map.
Where's the demon that's taking kids? Come on. Okay,
Dandy wants to know if you're okay.
no, of course not. Alright, yeah. I guess I'll just go with the group.
So,
Go
ahead.
Brevin is muttering under his breath that if he is smote down by some god for getting too close to the shrine, It's everybody else's fault.
Blame them.
Okay.
Do you have a god?
Who are you asking?
Brevin. Maybe you should consider. I'm sure the All-Face Shrine has a plethora for you to choose from.
That's the thing, Horace. With what I am, I'm kind of scared of which one would answer back.
Well, a god that doesn't take the followers who call to him wouldn't be much of a god. I'm sure. Come to Moradin.
Come to Moradin. Have you heard the
We
good news of our
have
Lord and Savior?
all
Moradin?
the good dwarves come to Moradin.
we have
God, I
some,
hope
we have some
Horace has
pamphlets for you.
Yes!
Have you heard of consciousness? Except this flower. Except this rock.
All right, so as you all approach the All-Faith Shrine, it is a very nondescript building made entirely of stone. No doors or anything on the entryway, just a long hallway that opens up into a very large antechamber. Kneeling at the opposite end of this antechamber is a figure, cloaked, and they kneel in front of the shrine, and before you even get within 50 or 60 feet from this figure, they raise their head up, stand, make a couple gestures over the shrine, and you can all see a white light kind of shine towards her for a brief moment before it disappears. This woman turns towards you all and takes a few steps, and as she pulls her cowl down, you see that she has snow white hair and almost purple skin, and that she is in fact a drow elf.
Pretty.
She looks around towards you all and she says, "Welcome all to the All-Face Shrine of Red Larch."
Good evening, in Undercommon.
She nods and says, "Well, I appreciate the gesture of you speaking what you presume is my native tongue. I myself have never been to the Underdark. I was born here, above, beneath the moon, in the light of Elister."
In the Dwarven mines, if you dig deep enough, you encounter people from the Underdark, and it's better to talk than to fight.
She
And
nods.
they want things from the top side. You can't grow a good plum in the Underdark. So
Bit of a smile.
bartering even with those who keep them to themselves.
And she nods and says, "I do apologize if you've ever come across any of my brothers and sisters who have fallen to Lolth. Their path is one of darkness and death, one that we hope to draw them from one day."
And I see you are clearly in the light.
She asks if you've heard of Elister.
I don't know if my character would have or not. Let us see.
Very
Make a
unlikely that
religion check.
Dandy has.
Yes, sir. Got an 8. Double 8.
Revan, you wanted to see if you'd heard of her?
Yeah, I don't think I did with a 5.
Oh, with a 5. Okay, yeah.
Is it okay if I just say no?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you don't have. You never have to make a check if you just want to. Yeah, that's totally,
Fail.
Yeah, absolutely. That's totally
you.
totally doable. So yeah, so Horace, you would have heard of this a bit. Probably thought that it was just rumor, that it was drow propaganda or something, but there are in fact good drow. that worship a good drow goddess. She is the goddess of the moon to the drow, and that's all you would really know offhand. That you've heard rumors that there is in fact a good drow goddess, and that her name is Elistre. And yeah.
There you go, Brevin. Alistren. She would be a fine god. Those who are perceived as being evil come into the light. She's a good god of people who are presumed to be evil. The goddess of the moon. We have happened on a god you can
So,
reflect upon.
Horace, as you're saying all this, the woman, I don't think she's given you a name yet, but she would.
No. Sorry.
No worries, you're good.
Name?
Her name, she would introduce herself as Amalith.
Well,
She
met
does not.
Amalith.
She does not give a house name. Again, would be odd to you, Horace, with your knowledge of the drow.
Oh, but knowledge of her estrangedness
Would make that would
a house name would mean meaningless.
Exactly.
I am Horace of Moradin, king's name, clan name. I should fill those in.
Yeah, it's actually going to be important pretty soon here, Horace. Might not be a bad idea. Okay, so Brevin, as Horace was talking to you and kind of trying to nudge you towards Elistre, she would kind of study you for a brief moment, and very quickly, almost imperceptibly, she would reach out a hand and just gently touch 2 fingers against the side of your cheek.
Bad touch. You owe him a candy bar.
So,
I lost my game.
He probably would take an instinctive step back at that, just because he is a little bit cautious at times.
So she would say, I'm sorry, I meant no offense, but how long ago did you die?
Wait, what? Dead?
You're dead.
If not close enough where it doesn't matter too much, Horace.
But you can be healed.
Couple of years back. He kind of touches 2 fingers towards the side of his neck and says, had a creature sink its fangs in here and rip out the carotid, and well, apparently it was hungry.
She nods and asks if you found this beast.
No, and I'm frankly not sure if I entirely want to or not. Because it essentially manhandled me like I was a small little child, and not exactly something I care to relive.
She nods.
Or let me put it a different way. If I do, I prefer to know exactly what it is, how to defeat it, and, well, have my friends such as Horace and my associate spellcasters here unload every holy and nigh apocalyptic magic they can on it first.
And then I get to hit it, right?
I figure chopping what's left into little bitty bits is a good way to stop it from being a problem.
So, after a few moments, she would be studying Brevin, and after a few moments, she would close her eyes slightly, and then when she opened them again, she would say, that you went to the brink of death. You returned. It wasn't your time. There is someone I speak to regularly that you may want to reach out. And she says, one does not need to devote themselves entirely to seek guidance. And she hands you a symbol, like a little coin. Looks like it appears to be on granite. And on it, there is a skeletal arm holding up scales that are in balance. She says, life and death, the balance between the two. I believe we find you at the center of that balance. Do you take the coin?
I will definitely pick it up because I am now curious. And upon picking it up, I of course am study it and flip it over to see what all it has on it.
Is anybody here proficient in religion?
Yes.
Looking for
Of course.
proficiency.
Looking for proficiency?
I mean, I'm looking to see who's proficient.
Oh, I'm proficient.
Horus, you would recognize the symbol of that as that of Kelemvor, the neutral god of the dead, lord of the dead, judge of the damned, the great guide, and the lord of death.
Everyone's trying to convert Brevin to a god that is not their own. That is the holy symbol of Kelenor, the god of the neutral god of death.
You guys did go to the All Faith Shrine. I don't know what else was to
Yeah. Yeah. Would I have any knowledge of this deity having been in Waterdeep, or do I need to roll something to see?
You can roll a religion check.
I think Brevin is going to use a little guidance cantrip on himself since he's trying to rack his own brain to see if he remembers stuff.
Okay. So
apparently I did not need to.
So Kelenvor is a greater deity. There most certainly would have been shrines to him in Waterdeep and many other places. You would have certainly seen that symbol around every now and then. Without being particularly religiously driven yourself, it's unlikely that you knew exactly who he was, what he was up for, and all that kind of stuff. But you've definitely seen him around, and there's certainly been no shortage of paladins and clerics of Kelenvor running around doing stuff. But yeah, with the 19, you would know that he is a truly neutral god. Believes that death comes to those that it's supposed to, and waits for those that it is not the time for yet.
Well, my dear, I do appreciate the information, and might be something who I need to look into at some point.
He would do the closed eye nod.
And Brevin is also going to make a little mental note to kind of look into this if they come across any other stuff relating to this deity.
Okay. All right. Do you guys have any other business at the All Faiths Shrine?
Well, it is close to the end of evening, and I have gifts given to me by Moradin. I would be looking for people who might be accepting of those gifts. Does anyone need curing or lesser restoration? I don't hear anything.
Yeah, it sounds like a no.
Okay.
Dandy is just going to kind of walk around and look around. She doesn't really have anything in particular that she worships.
Okay. Yeah, Dandy, it's a very, very bare bones in here. Very dark stone. No decorations. There's a very intentional lack of any sort of symbology or anything like that around. All blank stone walls.
Is there a weather god? Can we hook her up with Thor?
Dandy accepts.
So Dandy, actually being from the north and being of the Reghead tribes, there are a few gods that you've probably at least heard of.
Okay.
Oral, the Frost Maiden, being one of them. Especially if you were of Tiger tribesmen, she's the god of nature's cruelty and uncaringness. So it's entirely possible that you may have had some interaction with her followers.
Yes, I don't think Dandy would appreciate them very much, though.
Right.
She's got a bit too much angel in her.
Okay. I mean, the other ones, Dandy, I mean, anytime that you would, the ones that would seem likely to be associated with people that Dandy would know and possibly her tribe would be Sylvanus, the god of nature, and Talos, the god of storms. Talos is borderline evil, though, so just keep that in mind. Oh, no,
Noted.
not borderline. He's listed as just straight up chaotic evil. But yeah, so he is the destroyer, the storm lord, the storm star, the raging one, and the wildfire is Talos. And
something to think about.
Indeed. And then Sylvanus, very popular among barbarians and wild folk, is the Oak Father, the Old Oak, the Old Father Tree, and the Forest Father. So known as the Tree Father and the God of the Wild. And again, if anyone, the Drow woman would be able to give any of you any information about any gods. She is well versed.
Did you say Talos was chaotic evil or just straight up chaotic?
It's interesting because he's listed as chaotic evil, but as the god of storms and whatnot, I would probably just put him down as chaotic. Like, you don't have to be evil to say a few words to him every now and then.
Because I feel like Dandy's fairly chaotic herself.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think she'd mind hearing more about that about Talos, just because storms are kind of her jam.
Right. So she would tell you that the Stormlord is essentially the god of destruction. And while his dogma was self-serving, demanding utter obedience, instructing them to spread destruction, he also thoroughly enjoys when his orders are disobeyed and destruction happens anyways. So, essentially anytime that something is... Essentially anytime an act of destruction is performed, Talos takes note.
Huh. Again, something to think about. She's gonna ruminate on that. She thanks her for her time.
All right, everybody. If there's nothing else that you guys would like to do in the inns or taverns, we can go ahead and move on to the morning.
Yeah.
Morning.
Right. Right, so not that you guys need to, but you do get a long rest now. And then we will move on to the following morning.
Sounds good.
Well, I guess I'm gonna look for shops. So.
Okay, so the shops in Red Larch would be very standard. You'd be able to find anything in the basic PHB equipment list, anything listed as under 25 gold pieces in value. You guys can find here weapons, armor, general tools.
Back to the whole little plan we have with you and the black pepper balls. Can I look for to buy little pieces of leather to put them in?
Yeah, you could easily find little leather pouches, like a series of leather pouches. Is that what you're asking about?
Yeah, basically.
Okay, you can find a bunch of little leather pouches, probably for a copper a piece.
Perfect. I'll buy how many we had? We had 100, right? Hello?
Yeah. Does anybody have that written down in group loot or anything?
What's the group items again? Oh, there it is. Group loot. It says black powder.
Okay. Somebody may want to update that to 100 black spheres or something along those lines.
And I believe we divided them up into 10s, and
Yeah.
everyone's got some.
Yeah, so we need 10 little leather pouches.
Okay, so 1 silver.
Easy. There we go. So I had them silver. They're like, here you go, my good sir. And did we need anything else? Guys?
Not that I know we needed. I think we were just kind of. Someone wanted to shop. Was that you?
Yeah, it's for little leather pouches. So you can put those balls in. So you can go test out the little theory we had about them. Unless there's never mind. I think it'll be it for me. I just want to grab the little pouches.
Okay.
Alright, so group loop.
Okay. So. Right, so are you guys ready to continue north, or is there anything else you would like to do in town?
Since there's nothing really, you said that this is just like a normal, plain old town with nothing nefarious going on. We should probably just keep going when we invite it.
Yep, I agree.
Can we sell some of the I have a bunch of extra stuff I've been carrying around and I have no idea why.
Yeah, what kind of stuff are you trying to sell?
I still have 2 scimitars, I still have 2 rapiers, I still have 2 whips, I have 5 darts, 2 daggers.
Okay.
I'm literally a armory and
Okay, yeah, Silverin, you can sell anything that you want to and get half GP, half of the PHP value for it.
yeah, that works.
Actually, how much can I get for fine clothes?
Fine clothes, half the PHP value.
Yeah, okay, let me
Yes.
I have a set of fine clothes hiding in my stuff just in case.
Pardon?
I actually have a set of fine clothes stashed away in my goodies just in case we need them.
Dandy has what she's wearing.
Obviously, Dandy needs some fine clothes too, because you never know.
Why is your volume so low? I barely hear you.
Maybe he moved his microphone.
Oh, what is it?
There we go.
Oh, sorry about that. I was trying to take care of something with the kid behind me, and I was a half step away.
Oh, gotcha. No worries. My apologies.
Is there any stuff that? I added Stone Queen of Kelvmore there.
Oh, but what about those? We used up all the pickaxes, right, to make those the gold nugget.
Correct.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Except for the one Dandy had.
Except for the one Dandy has. What do you mean?
Wait, Dandy had one?
No. What do you mean? Dandy has nothing. What are you talking about? She doesn't have a pickaxe.
I don't know.
Okay, guys. So, let's go ahead and get that D20 for your travel from Red Larch to Westbridge. It'll be probably just about, 2 days worth of travel? Yep, 2 days.
Who wants to do the honors?
My hands are full.
I'll do it.
Roll those fingers.
Okay. So,
Oh, well, me and Horse both rolled, so I guess.
you guys are good. Now that you guys both are both good. So, as you guys travel northward, about near nightfall on your first day of travel out of Red Larch, sun is setting the enormous storm clouds into all kinds of different colors, shapes of light burning through them. You all are making your way north when I need each and every one of you to make a perception check, please. Drake, you can do so at advantage.
Oh.
Silverin sees everything.
Intimidation.
I'm
Trying to yell at the clouds. So,
He's still drunk.
as you guys are making your way northward, Silrin, you hear what begins to sound like heavy wing falls. High overhead, barely breaking through the sound of the rain falling over the cloud cover.
I will let everyone know what I hear.
Drake, as Silrin relays that to everybody, the sound, which you were having a bit of trouble pinpointing down, becomes very obvious as the sound of enormous wings. That sounds kind of familiar to you, Drake.
That sounds like a dragon.
As soon as Drake says that, a massive roar that sounds more like the strikes of many thunderbolts cracks through the sky. And you all see the gargantuan form of a winged beast descend through the cloud cover and crash down to the earth, resting atop a rock face probably about 50, 60 feet out ahead of you all.
I blame Brevin and Horace for this.
Oh, it's pretty. Does it see us?
It lands in front of you all and rises up to its full height of over 50 feet and lets out a low growl as it tilts its head down to appraisingly look over all of you.
Well, I'll be damned. Isn't
Drake.
that... I know this dragon. What was her name? I believe her name was... Cloggy Lamater?
Klagi Lili Amater. She corrects. Fucking dragon names. But this rumble comes from her and rolls out over all of you as she steps down from her perch and takes a few enormous steps towards you all until she is standing mere feet in front of your wagon, and she looks down over all of you. She says, I have seen you all. Seen your importance in events to come. wish to know your fates. As she leans in close, you see a half of a leg hanging out of her mouth. It seems to be stuck in her teeth. It's like dangling out. It wobbles around as she speaks.
I want to clear it out, but I feel like if I do, I'll die.
I mean, I would definitely like to know about things that are to come for sure. That'd be information is always good, but maybe stop eating poor humans or other food sources.
She kind of starts like jerking her cheek a bit, trying to get the piece loose. And she's like, been there for weeks.
Do you need help?
She kind of growls low and gets real close down to Dandy. You presume to assist me?
If you want it.
She bares her teeth in this huge snarl, but ever so slightly cocks her head in a way that the piece of person leg is facing towards you.
Yeah, I'm gonna help her if just tell me what to roll.
It's hard to floss those back teeth.
It
Roll
is.
an
Listen,
roll an
like,
athletics
that's
check.
if we can
happening,
fit
no
in
shame.
your mouth, then
Roll an athletics check.
Okay.
Athletics check. Just throw you out of the cart.
So, Dandy, as you're hauling on this rotting piece of human leg, the dragon has got its massive tongue up against the side of her teeth and just like and you manage to yank it free, and she just rears back and, standing up on her hind legs, lets loose this massive roar, and you guys think it's about to burst your eardrums with how loud and powerful it is. Then she falls back onto the ground and says, "Thank you."
You are very welcome. I'm happy I was able to assist you.
Dentistry for dragons.
Oh man.
Okay.
I love playing D&D, dentistry for dragons.
So she continues looking around at all of you and then sniffs huge in the air and then settles onto Drake and gets right down, her massive head only a few feet from you, Drake. She says, "Emissary of the Order."
Yes.
Says, "A debt I've owed for many centuries. I make good on this debt now." And she rears up.
Now's definitely a good time for it.
She says, "The giants stir in vast numbers throughout this land, but you know this."
That's why I'm moving around, yes.
The key to discovering why lies in the valley of Kedrun, to the north, within the eye of the giant's god. Drake, with your knowledge of this particular dragon, you would know that she absolutely loves to speak in riddles. It's her thing.
Perfect. This will be fun. So, lies in the mouth of. Is it possible to get the information written down for this one? Because I'm assuming it's going to be important information.
Yeah, I need to open something up because I'm going to assume that Braven is going to scribble this down.
She also leans in and says, "There is more. Something stands against you, something terrible, something ancient. It blocks my best attempts at scrying, at locating, at seeing." And so, Drake, again, you would know that this creature uses a myriad of crystal balls, and that I spent an entire 5 minutes just saying this name over and over again so that I wouldn't mess it up today. Had no effect. And there's no pronunciation guide. So here, let's have some fun with this.
Put it in
Let's
chat.
give her a
I'm going
nickname.
to.
Let's call her Cloggy.
Claugil Yamatar. Claugil Yamatar. That's it. Claugil Yamatar. God damn it.
Cloggy Yamatar.
Claugil Yamatar.
Say that 10 times fast.
I literally did for an entire 5 minutes straight trying to get this right. Claugil Yamatar. Drake, you would also know that she also responds to Old Gnawbone.
To Old what, sorry?
Old Gnawbone.
Old Gnawbone.
That's an amazing name.
All right.
Andy wants to call her new battle axe that.
Old Gnawbone.
Name your weapon after her.
So, Drake, again, you would know that this creature likes to basically spy on the world. She hates being out of the loop, and for centuries, she has been in the loop, silently advising and being aware of the world's happenings. The fact that something out there is able to stop her from seeing is a big deal.
Right. I'll ask her, do you happen to know why whatever this ancient thing is able to stop you from scrying? If there's anything I know about you, it's that there's not much that can stop you.
She shakes her head and says, I know not what could stop my scryings. A being more powerful, and dare I say more ancient than I, must be responsible.
This sounds like something that was almost like it was sleeping for a long time and suddenly awakened.
Sleeping or biding its time.
Very disturbing. Thank you for your knowledge.
She bows and says, relay to the order. My debt is paid.
I shall do that. Thank you.
She looks over towards Dandy, gives a little bit of a nod.
I feel like at that.
Do like a
I feel that
very
it's called.
bad curtsy.
I guess imagine Flitch jumps on Drake's shoulder and just stares at the dragon while she leaves.
It would look down towards the pseudo dragon and say, take care, little one. And then she would unfurl her massive wings, enormous wingspan, and take to the air. All of you find it quite difficult to maintain your footing as she takes to the sky.
She just you see Flitch just reel back on his hind legs and unfurl his wings as big as possible. Try to mimic her.
Okay. And after Claugil Yamatar
There we go.
takes to the sky, we're going to go ahead and take our break. Guys, so you are about halfway between Red Larch and Westbridge at the moment. And that is where we're going to go ahead and pick back up. So, your encounter with Claugil Yamatar was near the end of the day. The sun was setting. You had your sunset against all of these storm clouds as it still continues to rain somewhat lightly again. Just doesn't let up. But yeah. So, does somebody want to roll me a d20 for the evening? And who is on first watch?
I'll take first watch.
Sorry.
All right, so now we need Silverin and Drake to roll it. See what they did to us.
Okay. All right, guys. So your night does go by uneventfully. It is a starless, moonless night, so very difficult to see around. I'm sure there was no small amount of anxiety for those that did take watches, but Yeah, no bumps in the night manifested into reality throughout that night. So, the following day, the rain has drawn back a bit into a drizzle, though the clouds are still dark and deep as far as the eye can see in any direction. A storm has settled over this area and does not seem like it's going to be letting its grip loose on it anytime soon. So is anyone doing anything in particular when you guys are having these long stretches of travel? Because that's not going to be a theme that goes away anytime soon. Is these it takes you a couple days to get there type of thing. So if anyone wants to be doing downtime activities while you're hanging out on the cart or at night, just let me know. And Drake, you mentioned something about learning a new proficiency, right?
I did, yep.
Okay. So you've had about 4 days of downtime activity that you could have put towards that so far since leaving.
That was the idea.
Waterdeep.
Actually, I do have a question. I want to ask you first. Is it possible that characters could learn fighting techniques from each other?
Fighting techniques, no. And
No.
if that was a possibility, then it would take an enormous investiture of time, probably months, to actually gain a fighting style.
Yeah, because let's think like if we're doing this a lot, I was gonna ask Horace like or Silverin, you could teach or if you could like do a little like practice sparring matches with swordsmanship.
Okay, I would say that if one of them is willing, it will take both you and your sparring partners downtime time for the better part. We'll say 10 days, 1 month.
Are either you guys okay with that?
Is asking a lot.
What is it you wanted to learn?
Oh, I was asking you or Silverin if Frederick or can you, if you're doing a lot of downtime, teach Frederick swordsmanship.
So basically, mechanically, Horace, what he's asking is we're using a modified version of the downtime activities guide in Xanathar's, which does let us learn proficiencies given a proper amount of time. He wants to learn a fighting style. So what I said is that he can learn that fighting style if one of the players that is proficient in martial weapons is willing to give up their downtime activity for the next month to do that.
Only if it's okay.
So basically Frederick and one other person would have to spend all of their downtime activity for the next month doing this.
Just teaching him how to swing a sword, or teaching him
a fighting style. So
yeah,
who even has fighting styles in our group?
The ones with I know that
so learning.
I know the ones who have proficiency.
Right, learning proficiency in martial weapons would be more likely, Frederick, and not an actual fighting style, because I don't think anyone here has a fighting style to teach you.
I have interception.
Oh, okay, so that's what he would be able to teach you, just the one he knows.
I had to spend a level as a fighter to learn it.
Right.
Yeah.
If I could have learned it in town, I'd have another level in cleric.
No, nothing like that. It would be every single day of your downtime for a month. A month of in-game time. And just for reference, we've spent maybe 6 days in-game so far. 6 or 7.
Yeah. Alright. Basically, the folks you'd have to learn from for martial weapons would either be Silverin with the martial weapons he's proficient with, Horace, or Dandy, because I know Horace and Dandy pretty much have every martial weapon, and I think that swords bards they're proficient with some, but not all of them.
So, Frederick, I'll tell you what. Do you have a copy of Xanathar's Guide to Everything?
I can pull it up when up.
Okay, so take a look at the section in Xanathar's Guide. You can pull it up in the shared compendium in here whenever you need to. But pull up the guide for training, specifically.
Yeah.
And we will go as close to that as we can. And since we're going to be picking a weapon proficiency to do this with, it will be longer than is listed here. So, for example...
No, just out of curiosity.
Wow, 10 work weeks to learn a tool proficiency, Frederick.
Cool.
So, that's 100 days.
They make you work for it. I dig it.
To learn a tool proficiency. If you want to learn proficiency in a weapon, I would say that would take longer, probably about 50% longer. So 150 days spending your downtime activity doing that. That is a huge investment. So make sure that you're really sure that that's what you want to do with all of your downtime activities. And basically what we can do. Yeah, and you would need the services of an instructor. So unless you guys stumble onto a situation later on down the line where you guys can just camp out and we'll do like a fast forward type thing for a long time, I really don't see that happening, dude.
Yeah, gotcha. I was curious. I was thinking like, oh, if we handy to have, if you run out of spell slots, to be able to keep fighting. You know what I mean?
Well, you've got your cantrips for that.
All right.
I have a question. The lightning javelins, are those things you buy or things you make?
Oh,
What do you mean? Like the actual, like the spear, the lightning spears and things like that?
The Javelin of Lightning, I think, is what she's talking about. I think it's a magic item that you can either find or purchase somewhere.
Yeah, that would definitely be a found item. Whether you find it in one of the major cities might have that, or something similar. One of like the major cities, but I'm pretty sure that's like a multi-thousand coin magic item that you're asking about.
Okay, sorry.
You're good.
So as long as I
Thematically, I
don't-
could. Oh,
it's
sorry.
not multi-thousand. I think it'd be about 2,500.
For one?
Yeah.
But
As
if
long as
I'm
we
remembering the magic item correctly, it does have the Thor's hammer thing where it comes back to you after you hug it.
The Javelin
Really?
of Lightning doesn't.
Yeah. Does not?
Oh.
Okay.
No, once you
Wow.
throw it, you have to retrieve it. If not,
Okay. You gotta run after it.
yeah.
Well,
chocolate
it transforms
Danny's
into a
face.
bolt of lightning.
I got proficiency in light and heavy armor as a dwarf, and then I got proficiency in it again as a cleric, and then I got proficiency in it a third time as a fighter. Do I have extra proficiencies floating around?
I'm afraid not, but you know that is a
Okay.
lot of pile on for proficiencies. So we'll take a look at your sheet, Horace, and see what might be able to get on there. Maybe an extra tool proficiency or something.
That'd be
That's amazing. That means Horace is the best.
Yeah, I am triple proficient in armor.
Yep. So Horace, why don't you go ahead and just pick a couple other proficiencies? We can call it a language, a tool, or something like that, and you can go ahead and have those in exchange.
Okay, no worries. I'm fine with just not.
Horace is proficient in babysitting.
I mean, he
Child-
babysits us. So
Oh, you all need a
Exactly.
mother.
Horace, the mom of the group. Wow.
No, 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 no. Don't put that in your mouth. I can see it.
In
All
the
right.
Those
meantime,
little
So-
black beads that blow up. Not really pepper.
Not really
Can I,
Pepper.
Can I continue to lie to my mount?
Yeah, of course.
I just say it is the greatest mount of all.
Lie to your mount. You're the greatest mount for now.
You're the best we could afford.
Keeping my bond with my mount.
You be with me until I get a better one.
Oh yes, you're so strong. I fell off of you. It's crazy.
Chick. It's like,
Oh, no.
son's way too seductive.
Going to polymorph you into a hippogriff. Yes, we are.
Yeah. You just wait till I get stronger. You just wait till I get stronger.
You're actually going to be useful.
So whenever you're ready for that animal handling check.
Oh, well, I was hoping I could lie to it.
You want to deceive the horse?
I want to deceive it into believing I love it.
Okay, this is your
got a
last
question.
check, so you can go ahead and make a deception check for your horse.
Before you do, oh, never mind. I was
Oh.
gonna ask, do we see Silren doing this?
Soren, are you doing this within view of everyone?
Oh yeah, like I'm not hiding it.
I'm
So-
going
In fact,
to
I'm
cast
probably
guidance on you.
I'm probably turning to everybody and going like shaking my head in like in not like it's not really the greatest.
I look at
I'm going to cast guidance on you as you're doing this to give you a little bit of a boost.
I'm just like reading books, look up, I see you doing this, I turn to Flitch.
Yeah,
You're the
yeah,
greatest dragon of all.
that makes sense. That makes sense.
I'm on that
I
one.
tried.
Okay.
I tried.
You got an 11. Why is it
w-
that one?
I wouldn't be surprised when we wake up the next morning. It's just gone.
Soren, he gives you this look.
Yeah. Fair.
And the DC was
Oh
only
my
10.
goodness. This,
Beautiful.
Oh
I hope it looks at you like that while you write it.
yes, it stares at me in admiration constantly with this doofy
While it's
look.
running forward, it just turns back and looks at you.
Eyes on the road.
We may fall off a cliff, but we'll fall off together, buddy.
Oh my god.
I just look at-
Flawless.
I just turned to Flint and said, "You're the best little dragon ever."
I'm gonna rename my horse to Murph.
Murph.
Are we all just complimenting our pets? Who's a good Brevin? You're a good Brevin.
Wait, where's E? I need to know where E is at.
He is clinging to the top of the wagon, sleeping.
He's pretending to sleep so he doesn't have to interact with anyone.
That's
Pretty much.
He's the one-word child.
That's a mood.
You think E's like disappointed in Brevin? Because like he never sees him bite anybody. Like, what kind of vampire lord are you?
He's just like passive aggressively insulting Reverend.
Why did I have to get the broken vampire lord? We could have been so great together.
He's vegan.
He's vegan vampire.
Vegan vampire lord.
As long as we're talking about, practicing maneuvers in our downtime, I want to practice like ducking behind someone and getting all fours behind their knees and having Dandy push them over.
Oh god.
We should probably practice that piano strat. I think that piano strat worked wonders against golems.
Oh my gosh.
Silent image for King Frederick.
A shove aid.
I love it. We're called the playground maneuver.
Right.
It's like horse playground maneuver. What?
Playground. Right?
That's why they call it the schoolyard bully.
I can see Danny being the schoolyard bully. The shortest girl there just like making all the boys cry.
Yeah.
That's 100% Dandy.
She's a protector? Asmar. Protector.
I could backhand you any second.
She'd beat the bully.
We need to find like a Batman who can like train us in little things that we can use our skills together for greater effect.
Well, we got the Frederick Piana, which is pretty effective on destroying golems.
Yeah. Most.
Well, some of it is also we also just need to learn how to position ourselves when we're in the midst of combat. For there are obviously some members of our party who are much better at solid frontline offense and defense. Others better at being a little further back and laying down various types of firepower. And in Silren's case, a little bit of both with some skirmishing mixed in there. Though, given how some of the adversaries we faced have also taken us by surprise at times and been so spread out, that doesn't matter quite as much.
Yeah, I was about
It's still
to say,
good for us to be. It's still good for us to possibly bear in mind the strengths of everybody when we're going into various layers, enemy territory, things like that. Because I know myself, Frederick, and Drake here are capable of hurling spells past people engaging with enemies to help thin it out, and utilizing heavier duty spells and abilities whenever the enemy's further away where our friends won't be in the line of fire. but that is also somewhat situation dependent, I will admit.
Just trying to avoid, or trying to think of an idea to avoid the human piranha again.
Yeah, just I would say if you're gonna have a conversation with an enemy, make sure you're like 100 feet away and just yell.
Just yell.
Yeah.
Hey, Tony! You
Hey,
suck!
Tony!
Hey, what's your name? Tony! F you, Tony! What's your name? Tom!
Tony, your butts.
So,
Hey, go!
actually,
Pull another middle finger.
actually, while I'm thinking about this, I do recall that whenever we were at Nightstone, the young lady who wound up in charge of the place in our departure had stated that she wanted us to try to contact her uncle.
Indeed,
Yeah,
Tribord.
Yeah.
Daphne, yeah, that's why we're headed to Tribord.
What was that?
Tribord?
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
Tribord.
Tribord, okay, I
Daphne,
forgot.
yeah, Daphne's uncle in Tribord.
We have their
Okay.
family relics, which he's now the
banner in the lot,
owner
yeah.
of, and we're supposed to bring it to him.
Right.
Yo,
Right
oh
on.
God, I kind of forgot why we're going to Tribord. I just know we had a rare relic, and that's it.
It's your reasons are dual. One has already been mentioned. Your bringing the Nandar heirlooms to Tribord, to Daphne Featherstone's uncle there. Furthermore, you do know that the big upheavals and giant activity have been taking place in the northern Desserin Valley, which is
It's going to be a little bit
this
farther
whole
up.
area here.
That's
So this is northern, so probably near like Nesme, or what is that? Evermore.
well, there's a southern one near just east of Red Larch, southeast of Red Larch. So that's the lower valley, and then the upper valley
Hmm.
is up of Tribord.
Gotcha. Wait. Okay. We're just headed to the north side, right? Or are we gonna travel the whole thing?
Might
As of right
depend
now, you
upon what
guys just know
information we
Tribord.
find as we get
And
up there.
then there is,
Yeah.
of course, Drake's new information that he just got for you guys, which would
Yeah.
Yes.
Please say someone wrote that down because I do not remember.
We
what
got
I
I
we got
did.
a we
Thank
got
you.
a Kudroon to the north
The
with the
Valley
Eye
of
of a
Kes-
giant god. Yep.
Valley. Is northern, isn't it?
Valley of
And
Kedron.
in
Never mind.
Grudhog, that's where the giants are meeting,
The Hill
Yeah,
Giants.
the
right?
having
which
that.
is southeast of us, and we've already passed
Oh,
Oh,
like a turnoff for it.
oh, never mind. That makes sense. I know where we're going for that one. We're
Of
going
course,
to the
the
Eye
thing
of.
is, we also knew that at that Grudhog thing, with the number of various giants and giantkin there, we figured that would be a near suicidal thing to try to look into.
sneak.
Right, every hill giant you guys have encountered have had instructions to meet at Grudhog.
Yeah,
All I'm saying.
I have no desire to try to fight 30 or 40 of them at once.
It's funny. The Green Dragon's riddle I thought was like going to be really hard, and once our DM pointed to the valley, I was like, oh, never mind. It's in plain view. I feel
Yeah.
stupid.
Yeah, I had a decision to make because the map there's two different maps for this whole place, right? There is the map that came with it, which let me see if I still have it in here. Boring as hell, to be completely
Are we
honest.
Are we still camping, by the way, or are
Yeah,
we
you guys are
actually
still
moving?
camping.
Okay, perfect. This is actually a fun time for us.
So here's the map as it's supposed to be. The fuck are my cats up to?
Doesn't even render.
Oh, there we go. It's rendering now.
So
I'm not gonna lie.
far less
It
detailed.
looks like California. Oh, there it goes.
This is California. What are you talking about?
This
So, you
is
know-
It's
this
like
is the much boring map.
Very boring map, and the drawback is that the other map has some named locations on it. So that's one of the reasons that I set you guys up with your Lord's Alliance contacts, and I had you guys all come from various places from all over the Sword Coast and all over the north. So that way we can say, like, you guys know where these places are. They're not unknown places, and the places that are unknown I have removed. So any place that you could reasonably ask somebody, like, hey, where's this place at? And with enough asking and searching, you could find it, I just put it on the map.
It's like Washington, like right above is Canada.
So yeah, there's going to be some of the mystery is going to be out from that, but not all of it. You know, some of the mystery of, oh, now we have to find this thing with vague instructions on where it might be. Now you have a name that you can go to. So it takes a little bit away, but I find just having the detailed map really makes up for it. So, as you guys are, well, is there anything else you guys would like to talk about or do while you're breaking camp for the morning?
I do have a I know at some point I know that Frederick has a detect magic spell, correct?
Yes, sir.
At
Like
some point on one camp thing, my character would like to try to copy that down just so he has it as a ritual thing to use if ever needed. Because every once in a while, that's a handy thing just to try to avoid stuff. Or know if something is safe to pick up or not.
Yeah, like, or, you know, intuition, like, do not pick up the rod that the fire giant is dead holding.
Yeah. That didn't turn out
That's why I used to. That's why I used to string. That's why I used to string.
Yeah, that's basically the same thing. It's like, well, technically we didn't pick it up. We used the string.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That way, if it erupted into fire or something, it just burned the string and not me.
Yeah, that's what you're worried about. Not the two mummified elves holding very sharp people openers. But yeah, the rod you're worried about. Gotcha.
All right, buddy. So
maybe the rod's maybe.
Okay. Yeah, I'm down to use some downtime to like let you teach or show the detect magic spell.
Okay, that's just a matter of him copying it from your spell book.
Right.
Yeah, I got to burn like 50 gold and 2 hours on some. I'm a bit of downtime.
Yep.
The only thing
I'll just go ahead and dock it. Oh, go ahead.
The only thing Dandy really wants to do in a downtime, if it's okay, is kind of find out more about her party mates here. Her, like, just talk to them, get some more like backstory on them. Not like rudely. She just is interested in their lives.
So yeah, Dandy, that's totally something that we can do in RP. So anytime you want to know something about your party members, you can always ask.
Awesome. I'm not prepared.
Okay. All right.
I'll write some stuff down.
So yeah, that's definitely a very RP driven thing, where situations like we were just doing, like we just spent the last 20 minutes just shooting the shit, and I just picture this whole situation happening, just sitting around the campfire in the morning, you all are having breakfast, you know, trying to stay dry, and that's all the conversation we were just having just now.
Yeah.
Love it. Thank you.
So does anyone in the party have any experience with hiding stuff?
Oh, with what?
I'm
hiding things.
Dandy's technically hiding right now.
I'm the eldest of like 6 siblings, so go for it.
Well, I'd like to make a tube that like hides the Devonid.
Bonadod?
Yes.
The rod
Somewhere-
of the Vonindod.
The rod of the Vonidod someplace on the cart, like in a structural timber or something, and then make a counterfeit one for people to steal. You know,
How
just in
wide
case.
is it, by chance? Like we know how it's like 6 feet long. But like,
It's
how
100
wide?
pounds.
100 pounds. I believe it was. Here, let me.
Are we
Like-
going to use this ancient magical device as an axle?
Because like the way I'm thinking of the bowling dot is like with lifting weights, like the bar could weigh up to like 90, could weigh to 70 to 90 pounds to 100 pounds, and the bar isn't really that thick, So that's what I'm comparing the Volendar to right now.
It is 4 feet long and 100 pounds.
All right, so 4 feet long and 100 pounds.
Ooh, let's compute its density.
Yeah.
Circumference.
Yeah, that could actually be that kind of thin. Yeah. If Horace, what you could do is on the back of the wagon, like you just like nudge a hole over time, like 4 feet long, and just like slide the bowling dot in there. So like the back of the wagon has like, and you just like
And-
cover the hole.
Horace, as a forge cleric, I'd say you'd be able to create like a bench inside the wagon that could store it.
Oh,
That's what I'm saying. Like just like
right.
create like a fake door.
Yeah, like a false bottom to the cart.
Right.
I'd say with your forge cleric skills, Horace, you could easily do that within just like an hour or two.
Okay. I just wanted, to have someone else's stealth. I'm in heavy armor. I'm at disadvantage to figure out how to hide things.
Right. I feel like constructing something to hide though would be more like a carpenter's tools type of check.
Right. Well,
Yeah. Also, like,
If
Unless you were trying to do it like
want to
on the
consider-
fly while someone was actively observing you, then we'd probably do a stealth
If you
check.
want me to like use,
could make it an
Well, if you want me-
axle between the wheels.
There you go.
yeah.
Would you like me to
I was gonna say
paint
if
it?
you,
what's
Oh,
4
my
feet
character
wide,
being a
so
former-
long. Oh my god, you go, man.
with my character, well, with my character being a former investigator, if you want him to kind of point out it, kind of try to assist in like advising areas to possibly hide it at or to incorporate it as part of the wagon where folks wouldn't necessarily see it. I
Or
don't.
even seem to look at it.
Where do smugglers hide
Right,
things?
So you got a former cop and a guy that's like five siblings. Let's do this.
Possibly even if like you have like some sort of, say, like a thing on the back of it, like how a truck tailgate is, have it where it's like a large pin that's holding the hinges there.
Right.
Yeah.
But we're also going to have to pull it out periodically and say, is something within 20 miles?
I think all you'd have to do is just I think since Drake is the one who attuned to it, I think all he has to do is have access to be able to touch it somewhere.
Oh.
Doesn't he?
Yeah, we'll say that
Yeah.
works.
And in which case, it'd be easy to design it where just reach in, touch the middle part of it where he can touch, and activate it and see.
And another thing, that means we'll have to leave the wagon in the stables whenever
the
we're
wagon
in a
there.
hotel room. We can pull it out when we check it and put it in a carry bag.
I don't need to sleep. I just meditate, so I can just stay with the wagon in towns.
Okay, you're now living in the stables.
You better make that wine last.
I lie down on the roof and meditate on the stables.
Takes a sip of ever so of that the dragon fireball. Like,
It is enough to say that when we're traveling, it is well hidden.
Okay, you got it.
I'm just saying, like, put it, like, just notch a hole through the wood and just like slide the bowling dot in there, and just like probably notch another hole within the wagon. Just like put your hand in it. Boom.
Okay, so you guys ready to break camp?
Yes.
Yes.
So, as you
Today's
continue journeying north, the clouds hanging high up in the sky still. First couple hours goes by relatively uneventfully. It's open plains. The cloud cover casts a bit of a gray pall to just about everything all around. But yeah, after a couple hours though, you all see an enormous tower floating on a billowy cloud emerge from the cloud cover high overhead, about 1,000 feet overhead. The tower
Can
that
we,
you guys see must be hundreds of feet tall. Its single spire looks strangely like a pointy wizard's hat. As the tower drifts closer, you guys see it slow until it's resting directly over all of you. And then
I
you
was gonna
see
say-
a ramp made of clouds begin to extend from the bottom and spiral down and down and down and down, hundreds of feet, until you all see a ramp that looks entirely made of cloud resting gently on the ground in front of your wagon.
Well,
Shit.
like, should we like go on like direct the wagon under the thick brush before it got to us? But who wants to go up?
There's certainly no doubt that this thing saw you.
Yeah.
Situated itself directly over all of you.
So like if we were seeing it from a distance, like we could just like go in under the brush. But okay, who wants to go up first?
No.
I'll go up.
If we just keep going, does it like follow us?
It would follow you.
Let's keep
All
going.
right.
I'm
Well.
assuming that anything so powerful as to fly and offer us an invitation could probably just destroy us.
Let's pretend.
So
we
we
didn't-
might as well accept the invitation.
Let's pretend we didn't notice. Just keep treading forward.
If you were to do that, so Frederick
If Horace
just
goes,
kind of
Andy goes.
Be a funny idea.
So Frederick just kind of spurs the cart forward a little bit, and it continues going forward. And then as you move forward, the tower above you drifts ahead of you, and basically the base of the ramp stays about 10 feet in front of your wagon at all times.
All right, let's go with horses. Let's do this horse.
How?
Do we know what kind of giants these are?
Thinking cloud giants, no?
Based off of what you guys have heard so far, you would know that this is Cloud Giant MO.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it has a wizard hat.
It does.
Oh
Very
no,
odd
magical
tower.
cloud giant.
Okay, so we got a cloud giant that could possibly cast a storm of fireballs. Let's go up.
We have black powder.
He could rain fire. Let's see who wins. But I did make little pouches though, so like we got 10 little pouches of black powder though. Actually, should we
Let's
edit that?
talk before we fight. This is coming from the barbarians, so.
Yeah.
All right, if Horace goes, Dandy goes. Sorry, Andy.
Okay.
Trevor will go up there with them too.
So,
He's curious.
Horace, as you step forward and step your foot onto the cloud, it's solid as stone. Although it looks just like a cloud, and it moves like cloud stuff, but when you step your foot onto it, it is solid. And as you guys make your way onto this ramp,
Can I just answer fast? I cast mage armor right now.
Okay.
Right before the fight. If there is a fight. I'm not trusting it.
What does the cloud taste like?
Oh my God.
It tastes like water, Horace.
I was expecting peppermint. I'm disappointed.
Ah, yes, very expensive cloud stone. I know this.
Liquid.
So, eventually, after a very long climb, you guys are noticing that the about maybe 60 feet behind you, the ramp is disappearing.
Oh, damn it. We're doomed.
So,
I mean, I can fly. I don't know about the rest of you.
I could jump.
I could fall really slowly.
Silren, your horse turns around and gives you a very derpy, concerned look.
Wait,
I give him the same exact look. I'm also worried.
Are we leaving the wagon like unguarded at, like right now, like in the middle of the road?
The ramp was big enough for your wagon to go up onto.
Oh, okay. I thought we were doing this on foot. Okay, cool. We're definitely doomed. All right. So we're still in the wagon if we're going up, or
Correct.
all right, cool.
Okay. So, after a very long upwards journey, during which the tower just hovered there above you all, the ramp behind you slowly receding up as you pass by it, you all find yourselves here.
Darkness, my enemy.
So darkness is not your old friend?
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
No, he's more of a pain. Yes,
I've come to talk to you again.
he's that one friend where like you just he's just so insufferable to be around, but you just can't bring yourself to tell him to leave.
I like how our tokens are on the map.
Oh, let me get Flitch up here.
So, the cloud stuff underneath your feet is solid. Your cart is up here. We'll just say it's right over here. There's an open archway in front of you all, leading to what looks to be an empty vestibule.
All right. I guess I'll just walk forward.
Let's take a look and see
Adios.
what it is.
Anybody else wants to join me?
So, Frederick, in front of you there is a thin blue curtain, kind of flaps around in the breeze. It's vaguely translucent, and through it you can see a very large chamber. And you can see a very large chamber beyond what looks like a massive desk at the other end of it, with a very large figure sitting behind that desk. So, you guys can see through this curtain. The curtain is still there.
Horace, would you like to walk with me through the corridor?
So, Horace, as you pass through the curtain and stand towards the center of this room, you can see that there is a giant wooden table, and in a stone chair on the other side of that table sits this guy. As you all enter, he rises up to his impressive height of near 20 feet tall. And he outstretches his arms as he looks over you, and you see a huge smile break his lips. He says, "Welcome, friends, to my tower. Welcome."
It is good to be here. I am Horace, and party of 6.
Welcome, Horace, party of 6.
You are...
My name is Zephyros, and I bid you welcome in these dark, dark times.
Haven't we heard this name before?
We have.
Yeah,
We heard it back in
Nightstone, right?
Nightstone. Not Nightstone.
No.
Waterdeep. He's
Yes.
he's one of the few cloud giants who actually shows interest in humans or other
Yes.
lesser
Oh,
beings, I guess you could call it.
gotcha.
Yep. He's like the friendly one.
Says, I have been looking far and wide for the 6 of you.
Mm.
I walk up to next to Horace and just say, I am Frederick Dorius von Edic. It's a pleasure to Aziz to meet you.
Says, the pleasure is mine. You lots know not how important you will be. I have seen it. He kind of just
What is it you...
looks over you all expectantly.
Like in a dream?
Says, you could call it a dream. It seems like a dream. Long, nearly forgotten. And it turns towards you and it says, greetings! I am Zephyros.
Greetings! I am Horace, and this is our party of 6.
Greetings, Horace.
To meet you.
Oh, he has Alzheimer's.
I was saying, is dementia a thing in
So,
D&D?
you guys can go ahead and make an Arcana check.
Yeah, can I also make a or Well, I'm level 24, so I'm chilling. I was asking, is it possible you can do a detect magic in this area or no?
Sure.
I know you can't do the whole 10-minute thing. Or
We're on a floating castle. I
There's
suspect
gonna be a lot.
the magic
I'm pretty
is in the
sure.
air.
I'm like, is there anywhere specific that feels like this might be a trap of sorts? Not like I clearly it's a floating castle.
So, Frederick, with your 25, with your Arcana check, you would recognize that this giant is suffering from the long-term effects of extraplanar contacts.
Gotcha,
So,
okay.
as he kind of shakes his head, he would be like, I apologize for my shortness of memory. It has been a long few weeks since the ordning has shattered.
I'll just respond with, it is no worries to us. We are a patient bunch. I look back at everybody else as like, we're a patient for you.
I knew I held the small folk in high regard for a reason. Now, do you all know what the ordning is?
The ordning, that's the scale of giant hierarchy, where certain giants are considered above other giants by virtue of their race, regardless of their social position. So that the highest hill giant is lower than the lowest stone giant.
He nods. He says, very good, son of Moradin.
We had it explained to us earlier.
He says, then you understand the gravity of the ordning being broken.
Yes.
He says, the Allfather has seen it fit to shatter the hierarchy, pitting our kind against one another. In so doing, Anam has spurred my kind to challenge this established hierarchy, reforge their destiny. We all sensed the upheaval, and since shattering of the ordning, I have tried to see reason to it, to contact other planes, to contact other beings, other gods than Anon. I have seen you all. You all have quite the part to play in all of this. Says,
You're not the first entity that has told us things of this nature.
nods, says, and I am sure I will not be the last to see fate in all of you.
Can I ask what part do we play in this chaos that's
You-
happening?
All of you here, closes his eyes. Most of you will see the end. Opens his eyes again. You will mend the ordning.
I'm sorry, did you just say most?
He turns a bit of a sad look to you, Dandy. He says, I see death.
Oh, that's just Brevin.
Yeah, technically speaking. she's not
He
wrong.
just waves.
Sorry, guys.
I'm gonna ask him.
She was worried for a second. She's okay now.
Does he know about the Vernon dog? The Ver, is that how you pronounce it? The Vernon.
The Vonindod.
Bonin dog.
Vonindod.
Bonin dog. I ask him about the history behind it. If he could relate that to us.
He nods. And he would say that, and as he was saying this, he would turn towards Drake. Say, dragons are the ancient enemies of giants. I'm sure many of you know this.
Yes.
All too well.
Thousands of years ago, the last great empire of giants, Astoria, fell after a long and brutal conflict with the dragons.
So now we know what Astoria is.
Second. Say that the Vonindod was an enormous dragon slaying construct.
Oh.
Its exact workings and machinations are lost to time. Any who knew of it long since gone. But it is a great weapon against dragonkind. Whether it is a walking construct or a weapon to be wielded is unknown. Many pieces of this device have broken off and are scattered throughout the savage north. Many of these fragments are buried deep in the earth. Others, closes his eyes, others are shrines to your people. Their true nature and meaning lost to you.
What was that again? They were shrines?
Yeah, like what do you mean? Pardon my
Like
language.
the Nightstone.
He turns
Oh.
towards you and he nods and he says, "The Nightstone, indeed, was one such piece."
I was like, do we have ransacked churches now? What the heck?
Says, "Your people place objects in the middle of their towns and their temples, not knowing what they mean, what they can do, what they may draw towards you."
Ah, fiddlesticks.
Okay, that's gonna be an issue.
He would go on to say that the Nightstone is what drew him south, what drew him here initially. He meant to study it. And he would say that he was appalled when he heard of what his brethren had done to Nightstone.
I ask him, well, if we were to prevent your brethren from from claiming all the pieces of the Volnindad, what of you? Will you be an enemy or an ally?
I wish that when the histories of this time are told ages from now, the name Zephyros is not looked at with disdain, with hatred, but to say that I aided those who required the assistance of the giant folk. I have seen much. I watch, but I never do. Now is my chance to act, to put my hand on history instead of just my eyes. To that end, my conveyance, and he spreads his hands out and kind of gestures towards the whole tower, can take you anywhere you need to go in far faster time than your horses.
Though that might depend upon which city or the like we're having to head to, because some of the larger cities do have substantial defenses that would activate upon seeing a conveyance such as this approaching them.
And we would be moving around like a giant sore thumb if they know, if other giants know how to track the pieces.
Is there any chance you have some sort of sending stone so we can at least keep in contact?
He nods and he says, "Indeed." And he goes behind his desk, rummages around a bit, and pulls out his version of a setting stone, which is the size of a bowling ball.
Silrin, hope you got your gauntlets on.
just imagine like, why you carry a giant rock? It's like you won't understand.
But I would say, surely there is someplace you wish to go now, someplace I can help you get to.
The next place that we had on our mind to attempt to visit was some Tribor.
I could have you in the outskirts of Tribor, a mile or two outside of town, as to not draw any unwanted attention. Within just a few
That would be
hours.
lovely.
That'll be very appreciated.
I genuinely hope we don't let you down.
You will not. It has been foreseen.
As too easy to.
So we have a couple hours with him.
Yeah, he can move you guys super quick. Let me go ahead and double check real quick.
Well,
Is there a way to ask him subtly who he does not see making it?
I'm just guessing that one of us was a human piñata.
He closes his eyes and he would shake his head and say, "No. I see 6 at the end, but your shapes and your persons are hidden from me."
This is gonna make Dandy like uber protective. Sorry, guys.
Are you a wizard?
I am. I have been
I'll have to
practicing
ask
for many, many years.
Do you have a book?
He nods and say, "Would you like to copy some of my spells?"
As he says that, I just like that like giddy child is like.
Is there one that cleans drool?
It says, "A simple cantrip. Prestidigitation."
Well, you said we were doing this for about an hour or so, right?
A few hours.
A few hours.
A few hours it'll take you to get there.
Okay, so I chirp up sheepishly as like,
So it's 50 gold in 2 hours. Is that per spell level, or does the time just go up per spell level?
The cost and time go up per spell level.
Okay. So Zephyros has it, so it's 2 hours and 50 gold per spell level. Is that right?
I think so.
Double
Yes.
check real quick.
Oh, but what specialty? What
Well-
subclass is the wizard?
He is a divination wizard.
So he can copy divination spells at half price. And half time. Oh, you mean our wizard's a divination wizard?
Right. No,
but
Zephyros
what
is
is-
a divination wizard.
Right,
Zephyros is
but
I'm a war mage.
oh, you don't get a break.
Yeah. So that wasn't even my question. I was gonna ask him.
You can't catch a break.
Well, give us all.
What's your question?
All right, pardon me, saying, guys.
So he has up to level 8 spells prepared. So I'll go ahead and read the list off for you guys.
Yeah.
You only have time to really copy the level 1 or 2 spells, though.
That's all he can
Yeah.
copy. You
Okay.
can't copy a spell you can't cast.
Got it.
Okay.
So
What I was going to ask him is if he is going to ally with us, and I imagine he's a powerful wizard. at times would it be possible to study under him?
Again, it would just take time.
Yes, sir. Like anytime we meet up or we like he assists us. Like this is how I want to use the downtime. Basically, I'm asking.
Okay. Well, it's two. I mean, you can copy. He can copy spells and things like that. So any spell that you can cast, you can copy from his spellbook, and he will do that.
I mean, I don't know about you guys, but if he's gonna help us, then why don't we just take advantage of his flying castle and fly everywhere from now on?
Yeah. At least areas where it's feasible to do so.
Yeah. I think we talked about it earlier. It's like as long as we're not being like walking around like a sore thumb. But yeah.
Well, here's my thought. If you fly close enough to the ground, and we're trying to find all the pieces of Onundad, and we already have one, then we can literally just like fly around the continent super quickly, and we could just like find all the pieces very quickly as well.
Has anyone told him that you have a piece of the Bonadad?
I'm
Not yet.
refraining from
I have
saying
not.
that. I don't want to tell him that. But like I don't feel like
No? I think he's a great person to tell.
Alright.
So just for future reference, these are the spells that he knows that you guys can copy for now. He has Charm Person, Comprehend Languages, Magic Missile, Shield, Detect Magic, Fog Cloud, Featherfall, Crown of Madness, Gust of Wind, Levitate, and Misty Step.
Okay. But it's up to second level, right?
That's up to second level.
Okay.
I think Comprehend Languages is the only one that I can snag from that.
Okay.
That I don't already have.
When do you guys get level 3 spells?
Level 5.
Fifth level.
So he also
Level
knows
5.
non-detection, protection from energy, tongues, fly, and gaseous form.
Couples I could snag too in the future.
I kind of
Does,
like fly
does
in
he-
gaseous form.
What's your question, Danny?
Oh, what were you saying?
I was gonna ask if does he know how to make lightning javelins?
He does not. He does not have the proficiency in creating magical items. Unfortunately, that is a very
No
rare
problem.
skill.
No
Really?
problem.
I'd be like an artificer, probably.
Right.
Mhm.
We
Well,
gotta find ourselves some freaking nerds.
So
I asked him
Zephyros,
to-
after go ahead.
D&D existed for 40 years without artificers, and they had magic items.
Yep.
Gotta look
Yep.
for the nerds. So I asked Zephyros, if we were to have the pieces of the Volendon, will you assist finding more?
He says that he is willing to assist you in any way that he can.
Can I just pull an insight check?
Sure.
Insight, there it is. I'm rolling
He
decent
seems
on
to
these
be
checks,
genuine.
okay. All right. I look back at Drake. You're the one tuned to it. Your call.
I'm all for it.
Well, the Green Dragon just warned us that we have a powerful
Yeah, that's what
tricksy enemy.
I'm saying. Like I'm super like iffy on telling him anything more, but I hope a 17's enough.
If nothing else, we can at least utilize this to get to our next destination at a much more rapid pace.
Yeah, 'cause I do dig what Drake said about using it to find the more pieces. I think we technically the most efficient way possible.
I like traveling on the road, finding people in need and helping them. Learning things, not just skipping from destination to destination.
Yeah.
Dandy agrees with whatever Horace says.
That's unfortunate. Sorry.
So should we do a group vote on whether just using it or not,
Well, for now, I mean, to get to Triberg, I feel like this is
Yeah,
probably a good idea just to get our
Triberg,
stuff back up. But after that, we should probably use this sparingly so not to draw too much attention to us from other giants who might want to.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking about. Like, if we're flying around, it will be pretty obvious to other cloud giants that we're Something's
Oh,
up.
being
no.
helped.
We're being
Yeah.
helped.
That's why I suggested the sending stone so that we can keep in contact and get help if we absolutely need it, but not tip our hand.
If I had a giant flying castle, it would have a cloaking device.
Nice.
I'm just saying, somebody would have noticed it long before, and there would be stories about this giant tower with a wizard hat.
Yeah.
By the way, since if we're gonna be staying in this castle and doing our travels in it, do you happen to have like a library with lots of books? Maybe things I could use to learn about some of the history that you've acquired here.
He says that he doesn't have a library, but he does have a few books, mainly on the ordning and the histories of the Dragon Giant Wars.
I
That
would.
would be worth reading.
I would not
Yeah.
mind looking at that if I can. I'm
So
kind of
yeah,
like,
he
love
would
to read that.
say
Yeah.
that you are welcome to stay here in the bottom floor of the tower. You would see him kind of put his hands out, and then he would gently lift off the ground and start floating upwards. He says, "The second floor and the aviary are off limits to you. Please respect my boundaries there. But you are welcome to make camp down here and make yourselves comfortable." And with that, he would float straight up through a hole in the ceiling directly above where Horace and Frederick are standing.
Did he
I'll,
say
like-
aviary?
I'll put my
Did.
hand.
mhm.
I'll put my hand on my chest, give him a dignified bow, and tell him in giant tongue, thank you.
He would say, "Thank you for allowing me to be a part of this."
All right, so we're not dead yet. Yeah. I think
Most of us aren't.
you're halfway there. You're in the precipice. You're teetering. All right. I think we should just collect as much information from these books as possible for now, and then later possibly learn more from about Giants' history.
So I suspect reading one of his books is a party affair where it takes 4 people to turn a
Right.
page.
I was just about to say they are huge books.
You
Each
say
one is
4
probably as big as Horace.
Okay, you say 4
We have a
people.
block and tackle. We can open the cover.
I was like, you say
Yeah.
that, but we do have a dandy.
Yep.
And we have a Silverane who has the hill giant gauntlets.
19. Yeah.
I think those two alone could outbench all of us together.
Well, the heaviest thing a wizard picks up is a book, so
Hey, we pick up sticks too.
I really hope a book is heavier than a stick.
They pick up diseases.
We pick up diseases too. Hey, wizards have high constitution.
Is
apparently.
magical syphilis.
Play Tomb of Annihilation. You'll find out.
Especially if you bring no one without lesser restoration.
I'm dying.
Fun.
All right. So, a couple hours goes by with you guys studying down here and taking a rest and taking your time to go through these books. And after a couple hours, Zephyros would kind of poke his head down through the thing and says, "We'll reach Tribor in less than an hour, everyone. I hope you all enjoyed the trip."
I just look up and it's
Thank
like,
you.
thank you.
So,
I guess
there
imagine, like-
are several windows looking out over the clouds, and you guys are up in clouds right now. You are up in the storm clouds, and every now and then you can see lightning striking,
Yo,
And
Dandy's having a
here-
great day.
the roll of the thunder. But yeah, who would be Dandy? I think you would be close to the windows, kind of watching and enjoying the storm.
Absolutely.
A crash of lightning lights up the clouds for a brief moment, and you see something that catches your eye. You kind of turn towards it and focus on it a bit more, and then the lightning flashes again, and you get the unmistakable outline of an enormous dragon gliding through the clouds. Lightning flashes again, and you get the glint of metallic light reflecting off of it. You see this huge silver dragon gliding through the clouds, approaching quickly.
I'm gonna let everyone know immediately.
As it flies closer, you can see it's almost within a stone's throw of the tower at this point. You can see a not small number of armored dwarves clutched in the creature's talons.
Horace?
God.
I think this is for you.
So, as you say that, Dandy, the dragon does a steep dive down towards the base of the tower, and you see it at the very arc of its dive. It drops all 6 of these dwarves and flies upwards. And you hear Zephyros up. It's like, was that a dragon?
Yeah.
Whatever could it want?
To deliver you some dwarves?
Dwarves? I
Yep.
didn't order any dwarves.
I don't think you can return them.
So, Horace, if you were to look out the same window, you would see a small platoon, a small squad of dwarves in full-on battle armor. They appear to be standing in a circle, and one of them is pointing up towards the tower and pointing out to all of his men, and then he raises his hammer and he points up at the tower again. These appear to be Order of the Gauntlet dwarves to you.
Order of the Gauntlet. That's Helm?
Well, yes. Helm, Tyr, Lathander, all of the good gods. They are essentially we find and smite evil wherever it stands. No evil can be... Like, they're the ones that charge into battle head first without any real thought. As long as... Point me in the direction of evil type of guys.
Guys all.
So, Horace, since they're speaking to each other in Dwarvish, you can hear them now over the intermittent thunder. That evil cloud giant's up there, boys! We gotta go and we gotta put a stop to him before he drops the rocks onto Tribor just like they did over in Nightstone. We've gotta do something, and that's what we're here for. We're gonna go up there, we're gonna find that orb, and we're gonna break the orb, and we're gonna stop this giant!
In Dwarven, well met, brother dwarf. I don't think this is the giant you think
He
you're looking
turns
for.
and
These are not the giants you're looking for.
As soon as you shout, Horace, before he can even register, he turns and just hucks a warhammer at you. It misses. And he's like, "Ah! Brother! What are you doing up there? Get on down here and join the good fight! A prisoner, boys! The giant, the evil one, has a prisoner! We must liberate our brother!"
Not a prisoner, and I don't think this giant is evil. When the time comes to write the history of the great tribulations, his name will be remembered. When the histories of this time, we hope that they will say he aided.
Horace, make a persuasion check with advantage, please.
I don't have persuasion. I'm a cleric.
It's funny you say that, because I was about to start saying something, and then you at first, like, damn.
Horace, with a 14, the leader, he's looking up towards you apprehensively, and he shouts up, "Clarion!" And you guys hear a roar split the sky like a crack of thunder coming from the top of the tower. It says, "Stand down, Clarion!" Zephyros would pop his head over. He's like, "There's a dragon on the roof!"
I'm guessing it's Clarion.
I'm guessing that too.
All I heard was, "Who's that Pokemon?"
I was thinking it's Clarion. Clarion, you wayward son.
So,
Yeah, I just walk out next to a horse. They're like, so what's happening? look at
So
Drake.
there's
Was
a
that another?
platoon of dwarves, and they think our giant is evil, and they were ready to attack. But
Mhm.
I don't know that he's evil or not.
So look at Drake's like. So about the dragon? Is that another one of your friends?
I'll
Eh,
just look up. I'm like, that dragon seems to be tamed.
he's metallic, right?
It was, in fact, a
Like,
silver
Any
dragon that Dandy
dental
saw.
services?
Oh, silver dragons. Not to be racist, but silver dragons are generally good.
I was say I'm pretty sure it was like good.
So those are
Dragons,
all
right?
dwarven warriors, fully decked out and ready for battle. And they would approach, and the first one would kind of. I apologize for the art. I did not have time to get individual dwarf art for all 6 of these guys.
No worries.
But
So is this guy like a captain or something?
he is, in fact, he would step forward, and he would look around at everyone and say, "Good
Roll
cloud
for
giant."
surprise. I'm hugging him.
Whoa.
A dwarf.
So as you approach Horace, he would see you coming in for the embrace, and he would nod and just full on return it. Says, "Well met, brother, well met. I am Nault Splinter Shield."
I am Horace Gloryforge. No.
Gloryforge. I've heard the name.
Yes, we are big in mining and forging.
Well met.
Alas, I made an error in selling some ore and was kicked out of the family business. Too stupid for business. Guess I'm going to the clergy.
Well, not everyone is made out for business. I know that I am at my best when I'm swinging a hammer at the foes of good.
Right?
This is the best thing Dandy's ever seen.
Hammer to the head. How smart do you need to be?
Okay. So they would go on like this for a while. They'd all introduce themselves. Ildahar Ironfist, Dana Ungart, Hewin Horn, Griswelda Torun, and Voldrick Firehammer. And
Bless you, God bless you, God bless you.
yeah. So
Sorry.
Zephyros would kind of poke his head down and says, "Do I need to be concerned? There's still a dragon on the roof. He's very much scaring my griffins."
Are you evil?
Well, no.
Then it should be okay.
And while this happens, you see Flitch just jump on one of the or climb on top of one of the dwarves and just looks up at the dragon on the
In
roof.
full battle armor, the dwarf would do a combat roll and pop back up with his hammer ready. Ah!
You just see Flitch just look up so confused. I'm like, wait, what?
Dandy wants to know if we can keep them.
He just see Flint just points up at the dragon.
They are Helm's Guard. They are committed.
They are wonderful.
I'll just turn to me.
However, if you were thinking about, I don't know how to say this in character. If you were thinking about leveling up and learning a feat, maybe that they knew.
Andy, I swear.
So, you guys would notice that the storm is growing considerably worse. Enough so that the dwarves that are outside begin looking around.
You guys should come in.
They nod, and just as they all get inside, a crack of lightning strikes the cloud itself.
Silver dragons polymorph at will?
I think you do.
Yeah, because they're the ones who like humans.
Then we could invite Clarion off the roof.
They say, no, Clarion will continue to stay up there, do his job, keep a lookout, watch for, and as he's finishing that sentence, you hear an enormous roar somewhere else out in the storm.
What is he
More-
keeping a lookout for again?
And right as
Guys,
soon
that
as
is
that
nice.
happens, you hear the dragon up top return the call. And the dwarves close their eyes, and
Oh, this can't
when
be
they
good.
open them again, they say, Clarion sees something coming.
Is it something good?
The dwarf shakes his head. You guys hear the storm intensify outside. The winds pick up and they're driving the rain sideways into the tower. You hear the roaring get closer, and it seems that every time the larger beast roars, and there's no mistaking which one is the larger beast, Clarion sounds like an infant beside this. Every time the louder beast roars, it sounds like thunder follows. You hear Clarion let loose one final roar, answered by that enormous call of whatever beast is coming. And then you all feel the tower get slammed by something. It almost goes onto its side by the force of whatever has just struck it into the side. Lightning strikes all along outside, and anyone looking towards the eastern windows, all they would see is a massive blue scaly belly crawling up the side of the tower.
Drake?
I will rush outside and see what kind of a dragon it is.
There is an enormous blue dragon of the proportions of which you have never even heard of, Drake, scaling the tower.
Oh.
And we're going to pick up here next week.
I was gonna say Drake is